So I wanted to just mention this big flaw in this game, where the system has a orb cost. Now this game is pretty awesome in letting you play it as much as you want as far as grinding goes, because you can either just take off all your arcs, or you can just get enough refill from your orb centers to be capable of just grinding as much as you want. But then you go to this type of system, which is pretty toxic in any of these games, where they basically tell you need to come back every 5 hours, or we're going to have gems not capable of being grabbed for free. And this game doubles up on a big problem with this because it does a couple things wrong. Despite having you have to come back or be punished by not being able to get those gems, they also increase the overall cost of the orbs necessary in order to do the harder difficulties, which is where all the good items are trapped in. This is also a bigger issue because each day besides the weekend, which is a 3-day period, is specially made for specific events. Like for today is purple crystals. So for example, since I can demonstrate it here now, it costs 2, so I can't currently do it. But if I hit start quest, it'll tell me you can pay 100 of the game's currency in order to recover it. Well, I have 1 already, so what would happen? It'll just refill these 4, and this becomes basically worthless. If I decide to do this in a sequence, and I want to continue grinding, I either have to wait the period to get the next gem to actually use it efficiently, or screw myself over and lose a ton of gems in the process of me trying to grind something. And now I'm going to back off into the event, if it would let me do that, which I currently just did. It's completely wiped out. Now this game could easily, and this will lead to a couple of things that the game could actually change for the benefit of the player, which they probably won't do. So you click in, you enter, bam, costs 100. Despite the fact I'm missing 1 additional orb cost. They could easily replace this with a system that allows each orb to cost 20 each. And they've already demonstrated this if you play the main game and say you run out of orbs or something, and the game's like, oh, you need 300 and you have like 250. Well, you can pay 4 of the game's currency or something like that in order to continue this mission. So the game already has this concept in place in the game, but they specifically went out of their way to make events like this more of a difficulty for the player with no benefit to the player, because you'll screw yourself over if you really try to do this in sequence. Now if they made that change, because a lot of times the stupid comment that's made to defend this shitty system, besides like, oh, they're greedy pieces of garbage, is that like, oh, they have to do it because how are they going to do each gem? Like, if you do 100, then they'll fill the 10 slot or the 15 slot or whatever capacity increase you want. Just do it gem by gem. It's not complicated at all. So yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. It's a pretty stupid system, especially in a game that has a nice energy type system, even though it basically makes you have to grind about 10 times as much as any other gacha game. But it's just conflicting, because you have that system and then you have this, which is just like, well, you can grind as much as you want forever and then just leave, and then you can just come back and grind again. And then this one comes and it's just like, oh, well, you can do like 2, yeah, like basically just two events for actual gear you need, and then you're done. and you have to come back an hour later to get that next point to actually deplete the whole thing, or come back later on 4 hours later. The micromanaging you have to do for this type of stupid system shouldn't exist in any of these games. And I don't understand why anyone really tries to defend it. Like, yeah, we can all admit these companies are pretty trash, but there's no point to defend it, like, ever. Like, just do that. Just, if someone makes the point, just be like, well, the companies, they're greedy, they don't really care for the players. And be like, I agree, and that'll be it. I mean, the argument point doesn't work anything in your favor and just makes you look dumb.